Hey, good morning. November 720 Sierra here. Steve in the hangar, my garage. Okay, so yesterday I showed you that I've got to take all these rivets out and scuff in between. So I've done the whole section here. I've done all the way back to 3. So I'm just going to show you that I'm actually scrubbing. Now I'm doing this manually with this 3M handy pads. They are number 7447, I believe. And I bought a case of them off, 7447 Pro. Scotch-Brite scuffing pads. I bought a case of them off Amazon for $20 or something. So they work really nice, and they work really well for the aluminum to scuff in between, scuff the holes along here before you put the rivets in, because if you don't, then the paint doesn't stick around the rivets quite as well. And there are several people talked about that in previous videos, not mine. Evan talks about it, and several other people talk about it on their channel, so I won't belabor that point. So I went out and bought a wheel last night. I went to Lowe's and I bought this. This one is a Gator one that I can put on my drill. However, I'm doing it manually because the drill, if I didn't have any of these plecos on and I just had the aluminum up here, it would be nice to scuff it like that. It'd be great. But going in between the clecos, it doesn't do that very well. And I've already got the clecos on, I'm not taking them off. So I'm just doing this manually. I'm going to show you. I'm not sure if you can see some of these scuff marks on here. I don't know what the, hopefully you can, but anyway, you get the idea. So I'm just going to do a few of these right now. I'm almost done with this section. Now, once I rivet, then I take the clecos out. I'm going to have to scuff all of these where the clecos are, right, in between. But that's because I didn't do it first. And it shows a lot better if you go across the grain of the aluminum. It shows up on here much nicer, but going with the grain, it doesn't show up quite as well, but it's done. All right, well, there's all those sections there. So it's not really hard to do. It's just take some elbow grease and a lot of sweat, because it is hot out here. In the garage. This is South Texas. All right, so now I'm going to re-put in all those rivets that I had nicely put in here earlier, before I forgot that I had to do the scuffing. So, you can see me put these in, not a big deal. I'll probably stop the video here in a minute and then pick it up when I've got all these done, and then I will show you some riveting, a little bit of the riveting. Riveting is not very interesting, but it is important, and we probably do a little over 20,000 rivets on the whole airplane as we're doing this. All right, let me stop this for a minute. All right, November 720 Sierra on Sunday morning. Well, I've shot 2 videos already, partial ones. So, and speaking of November 720 Sierra, there she is. There's Shiloh. Come here. Come here. No, get around to mommy. All right. So we got the skin all brazed up with the pad. All the rivets are back in and sitting here, so I'm going to start riveting the skin. I've not seen anything on the particular order of having to rivet this, but I like to, on these longerons, I like to do one at each end, right, and kind of work towards the middle. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if that's an official thing. And there are sometimes weight in the wings where I've had people say, yeah, you're very specifically, you have to do on the ailerons certain things first in an order to make them line up correctly. I really like this DeWalt rivet gun here. Battery operated, kind of like the Milwaukee. We talked about that before. Only reason I went with the DeWalt was because I already had a few other DeWalt tools, and so I already had the batteries for them. So I didn't have to switch anything around with batteries and stuff. So the Milwaukee, I didn't have any Milwaukee equipment, and that's why. So why I went with the DeWalt over the Milwaukee. And nothing against the Milwaukee brand, I just didn't have any of their tools. I do have some drill bits in there, a few other tools, but nothing in the major category. So I have the DeWalt one, and I have been happy with it. As you can see, I've been actually using it more than my pneumatic one, the Stanley that I have, XP2 Pro. I've been using that one. Or using this more. Yeah. Yeah, what? Alright, I'm going to turn off the camera. It's kind of boring watching me rivet. I don't know how to do time-lapse photography on this iPhone 7, I think it is. If you know how to do that, I'm sure there's probably a way to do it. I just don't know. I'm not an AV guy. Anyway, so I'm going to turn it off and I'm just going to keep riveting, and I'll show you the whole thing at the end when it's all riveted. Although I haven't taken out the in-between ones, and Cleco's got to take them out. I got to braze it down and then rivet it. So I got a few hours of work today. All right, see you shortly. All right, so I got all those rivets done. Now I'm going back and removing the Clecos that I can remove from this skin. The in-between ones, and then I have to scuff them and rivet those too. So that's what I'm doing here. The outside longerons do not get riveted now, and they do not get the Clecos taken out. In fact, I probably got to put more Clecos in. But I don't have to do that right this second. Removing the Clecos that I can, because I've got to go back and rivet those that I've got scuff with the scuffing pad on the in-between ones that I didn't have out before. Because I forgot to scuff the whole thing while it was a piece of skin. It would have been a little easier and a little faster. I could have scuffed the whole thing, but I had to go in between. And that's what I get for forgetting that step. Alright, so there's all the in-between Clecos. I get the Clecos and put them back over here. I'll go back and add some in between the skins later. But I gotta go back and scuff in between here. I wonder if I can use this now. Let's see. How will this work? Yeah. Tough to get it flat. So I'm not sure if I like that yet or not. It just takes longer and it's harder and takes more out of you. Alright, that's it on those. So now I go back and fill in rivets. So fill in all the in-between ones. These rivets will be visible underneath your airplane. This is the bottom skin, so this will be turned upside down. Here's one I gotta go back and clear drill. Another one, some of these I just have to clear drill. They get a little, just a tiny bit off. So I got a 1/8 inch Milwaukee drill bit, and these ones that are just a tiny bit off, you really don't have to do much with them, but sometimes you gotta drill them out just a tiny bit. As you can see, most of them you don't need to, but some of them you do. Alright, so that's all filled in. Now I'll go back and rivet those. Alright, so you've seen almost all, here's the last one right here. All the riveting for the bottom skin, the long bit into here for this section. So let me pop these down. Pop that over, get that over. Okay. So now we can actually pick it up pretty well, turn it over, and show you the longerons are all clean-coated and riveted in place, except for the outside ones, which gets the skin. The first skin on the side has to go underneath this, and then gets riveted afterwards. So you do not rivet any of the outside ones, but all these inside ones have been done, and hopefully you can see here. So I'm still waiting for the frame to come in for these inspection parts. This one apparently doesn't get it. I just got to put in rivet nuts. All right, so, but, you know, flips over nicely, nice and strong. And I'm going to call it a day for today on this part. Don't have anything else to do till I get these parts in. And the, I got the cluster put the ribs in, and the back tail cone section, which is sitting right here. So now for that, I do have to, I put in two, now let me see if I can show you. There's a little flange right here, and it takes 4 rivets. I put in these 2 forward ones, and I've got to take those 2 out because the bottom of the part of the rear tail cone goes underneath this flange and then gets riveted down. So I put in 2, I just got to take them out. And then these get riveted and these get riveted, and this thing becomes, and across here, and it becomes a whole lot more stable. So pretty nice, good job. So that's it for now. I'm going to pull this is November 720 Sierra. Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to go to our GoFundMe account and send us a donation. All right, thank you.